Greetings, this is Andrew from MT Binder. Happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully this video is out by Thanksgiving. I've had a few guys ask me about what the process was to make this Conestoga style camper on my pickup truck here. And I'm going to give you just a brief walkthrough on it. Before I do that, because I don't know how to edit videos very well, I'm going to do a brief montage of a couple pictures of the design process, as well as some finished parts and pieces. So this Conestoga style camper started off as just a roof rack, and I built some metal hoops to attach to it, and then attach a tarp. This tarp is just kind of the, not top end, but it's about a $40 tarp from Tractor Supply or Shipton's or whatever. And so it's not the highest quality, but it has been sufficient so far. So as you saw in the pictures before, the hoop building process, and that's the finished product. I did find that these sections here where the welds are caused a wear issue. Even though you can see a little bit of light through that, it still has been watertight so far. No heavy driving rains, but that's about what it is. So these were designed, you can't really see, but these are bolted on here so that I can take these off for hauling kayaks and such. This came with these nifty winches, which I've been able to use. This one here is holding the bed up against the side. This bed is actually, so I've used these bolts like this. It's a round head stove bolt or something like that. And that goes into this hole, which would be for your stake pocket lock or something like that. And so that's bolted through the 2x4 and then sets in here. And then I just built a pocket for the legs. I did build this leg set back a little bit so that the totes can go in sideways as well. And then I used that winch or ratchet strap line to hold it pressure up against the wall. This top bunk is just made out of scrap walnut and such that I had. Super heavy duty, and it just sets in there. Let me get a picture of the underneath here. Just kind of sets in there like that, to keep the board spread properly, and again using the ratchet strap line to hold it up against the side. This will come out pretty simply and can be used as a ramp on the tailgate. And then the table, once again, just scrap stuff. I used this, originally had some, or these are, tie downs or whatever, and I just put some hinges on a board. They're loosening up a little bit, but this also just folds up out of the way, and it rests on that point there. My initial plan, where the plywood was too thin, and so it rested at an angle, and we had some stability issues. And then just used, I believe that's 1/4 inch MDF and some other plywood to fill those gaps in. And again, those welds caused a wear issue, and so just taped some, it's like a bubble type insulation. I've got about 1,000 miles of highway on this so far, and it's holding up pretty good. The last trip was a lot of wind, 60 to 70 miles an hour driving, plus 30-40 mile an hour wind on that as well, and it's holding up pretty good. You can see some of my extra taping up there is starting to come loose, but so I just put self-drilling lathe screws in there to hold that, and then on the bottom, reinforced with the little Gorilla tape, and then drilled through. And the way this is designed, those screw holes actually go right into this channel like that. And so we're not doing any damage to the rack. If this was a metal rack, I probably would have used a lag bolt and bolted a good piece of, you know, plywood on this first, maybe to run the distance of it, and then use this same method to attach the tarp to that. So 6.5 foot bed on the truck. I probably would go, it's exactly 12 foot over the top, and this tarp is 10 foot long. I would probably go a little bit longer on this tarp once this one wears out, which I expected it will. And then this horrible, awful, ugly, you can see it's screwed in there though, wind deflector as well. Very just parts and pieces that I had laying around. I've got a little buddy heater that, you know, keeps me not frozen, at least. And then these stairs I took off of a step-up camper. I just pulled off my access panel to the latch mechanism inside, and I used nylon locking nuts inside there, so that if it does rattle loose, it'll be this top nut instead of the bottom, the inside one, and I'll be able to tighten that up. But that's the short version of it. Like I said, very easy for me to take back apart to haul kayaks during the summer. Once again, Andrew at MT Binder, and I appreciate you watching this video.